Hello, all my aviation enthusiast friends. This is Greg. I'm going to be your pilot and captain today. Welcome to the airplane show. Today we're going to be flying this beautiful Queen of the Sky Lufthansa 747-400 from Dulles Airport all the way over to Frankfurt, Germany. So come along for the ride. I hope you enjoy the flight. Please like, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff, and let's get rolling and let's get going. Alright, here's the flight that actually took place on Thursday, December 27th from Dulles to Frankfurt with the 747-400. Here is the departure. On the radar, it looks like they took off from runway 30, and as you can see, it is a 747-400, which they usually don't fly, but this particular case they did, which is great for us. Here is the standard instrument departure chart, which we cannot use because Aerofly does not have that departure available, so I built one as close as I could to the original, which is pretty close, I would say. Here are the waypoints that I used. Now, I used almost every exact waypoint that was available in the real flight, and you can check that out right here from FlightAware. And yeah, so now that we have our flight plan set, we got our airplane, we got you guys, we got me, let's get going. Let's get in this bird. Let's start this bird up, get it juiced up, get it in the air, and get it over to Germany so we can go have some fun over in Germany today. Now, starting this airplane up is very similar to starting up the 777 and the Dreamliner as well. If you have any questions about that, please hit me up in the comments, and I'll do my best to answer any questions. I'm not a pilot in real life, but I play one on the internet, and typically I do enter all my information into the FMC myself. But as I said a little earlier, I can't do that. The first waypoint in our route is not available in Aerofly, so since I couldn't even enter the first waypoint in, I just said screw it. So I built the whole plan, as you saw from the navigation map in the from the main menu. I do enter the rest of the information in, as far as flaps and fuel and everything else I can input into the FMC. I do have a tutorial in my Aerofly playlist, which you can see right there in the top corner. If you would like to check that out, please do. And yeah, I'm gonna sit back, stop talking for a little bit, enjoy the sounds of this magnificent airplane, and we will get up in the air very shortly.
Minimums. Approaching minimums. Minimums.
And with this particular departure today, what I'm going to do is not use the LNAV or VNAV for takeoff like I normally would. Today I'm going to use heading mode and keep everything myself manually in the autopilot until I get close to the first waypoint. What I have found out with these simulators is that usually when it says like intercept or something else, some other kind of jargon in the flight director, it really doesn't know what to do. So since our first waypoint is not for a while, we have to make our that big turn and head east. So after we make that big turn and head east, I'm gonna try to engage the LNAV and see if it'll get onto the route properly. If it doesn't, we'll just continue with heading mode until we cross our first waypoint, and at that point, once the waypoint shows up in our display, then we should be able to click LNAV and have the autopilot take care of us, in which direction we're supposed to go. So we are just about ready for takeoff. I'm going to shut up so we can listen to the 4 huge engines on this airplane lift us off. And yeah, man, appreciate y'all being here. Please like, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff. I do really appreciate it. And yeah, let's get rolling. Alright, so in our display in the upper right, in pink it says 717. There's no waypoint showing yet, since we haven't really crossed the waypoint. Let's try LNAV anyways, and apparently LNAV is not ready. So LNAV is not awake yet. LNAV wants to sleep in a little bit. It's going to hit the snooze button a couple more times. So what we'll do is we'll just go back to heading mode. And what you saw me switch there back into heading mode was I just pushed the heading knob and then pushed the select button in, and that will switch your mode back into heading mode. So I do believe once we cross that first waypoint, I do believe LNAV will be awake at that point and ready to play with us. But until that point, it's not ready. So in the meantime, while it's still sleeping, if you haven't already subscribed, if you haven't already hit that thumbs up to like the video, please do so. And yeah, as soon as LNAV is ready to be pushed, I will push it, and hopefully it will do what it's supposed to do. right, so I actually live in this area, and this map down here is very close to what Google Earth looks like. It's amazing. There is Baltimore Washington International Airport. I do believe it is KBWI. Kind of a smallish airport, big Southwest hub. Many Southwest planes come and go from this airport every day. Very small with international flight stowers. You won't see an A380 land at BWI, even though they have the runway for it, but I've never seen one land there. They do have a fair amount of cargo planes, jumbo jets and cargo 747s and old McDonnell Douglas airplanes that are huge and all that, but you won't see any huge international flights. Down there right in the center, Rivera Beach, that's where I am. Currently that's where I live. I've been down here about 20 some years now. It's kind of a rednecky country laid back area. Everybody's kind of chill. Everybody is courteous on the roads. It's a good place to raise kids. It's a good place. That bridge up there on the top left, that is the Key Bridge, and that'll take you from one side of Baltimore to the other. Yeah, so that's where I am at right now. That's where I'm recording from, and it's pretty cool. Can't see my exact house, which is fine. I'm not going to dox myself. So what you're looking at there is the Bay Bridge. It opened in 1952, and at one point it was the world's longest continuous over-water steel structure with a length of 4.3 miles. In 1973, the state added another span to the bridge, so now there's, it's like two sides to the bridge now, 4 lanes on each side. I've gone over that bridge hundreds of times in my life, and it connects Annapolis, Maryland, over to Stevensville, Maryland, and so that's your history lesson for today. Maybe tomorrow there'll be another history lesson, but everybody, I'm going to give an A+ to. I'll give you A++ if you click the like button and subscribe. We are all set for the rest of our climb to flight level 350. Once we get up top, we will level off and enjoy the flight over the pond, the Atlantic Ocean, over into Europe, into Germany. But I do find that to be extremely boring, and I don't want my video being 7 hours long, so I'm going to transition here in a moment to our approach information and into our descent. So again, if you haven't pushed the like button yet, please do so. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. And I certainly appreciate y'all taking this flight with me today. Hope you've been enjoying the flight so far. There is more to come, and full ILS landing, Glidescope, all that good stuff, programming the ILS. We got to do all that stuff pretty soon. So sit back, relax, enjoy the flight, and I'll see y'all in a minute. All right, here is the Jeppesen chart for our approach today. We're going through the Raleigh approach, and we're going to go below the airport. However, in real life, it went around the top side of the airport and around, but in Aerofly, that option is not really available. You can do it, but it's got some really weird turns, so we're going to go below the airport, like it showed on the Jeppesen chart, and give ourselves some space and some easy turns to make so we can put this bird on the ground safely. I have no idea why it keeps on putting the ILS frequencies in automatically when I have that option turned off. So in this case, the ILS frequency is right. It's not always right. However, the course is wrong. So what we're doing is, right now, I'm typing in the ILS frequency and the correct course, then hitting the line that corresponds to it, and now my plane will be lined up with the runway and not 3 degrees off. But I don't know why it programs it automatically. I have that feature turned off. And interesting about that particular ILS, if you go from the main screen of the Aerofly simulator, click navigation, and then click on the runway, it says the ILS frequency is 111.2. However, that is not what it is, and you can see that what it showed there, it was 111.15. Right now, I do like to simulate as much as I can, so I think we will adjust the comms for the approach. So the approach frequency is 118.505, but we can only do 118.50. So that's going to be for the approach, and the comm frequency for the tower is 119.905, but we cannot enter that last digit, so it'll just be 119.90. This has no effect on the simulator at all. I'm just doing it because it's more stuff to play with, but you do not have to do this at all. But I like touching all the buttons and hearing the clicks and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, please like, please subscribe, please leave a comment, please do all that stuff. It really helps, and it lets me know that people like this content and want me to keep on doing it. I'll probably do it anyways, but it's just nice to know that there are people out there watching and appreciating this simulator for what it is. This is one of the best simulators I've ever played, especially on a mobile device. I mean, this is an iPad. I mean, it's crazy that, I don't have this huge super gaming computer where I could, play all kinds of crazy simulators and DCS and X-Plane, a million, and Microsoft Simulator and all that. This is just an iPad, and for what this thing does and at the frame rate, it's pretty impressive. So yeah, that's about it. Let's continue. We're gonna descend here. Really about any. Oh, well, looks like we're descending now. So we have begun our descent, and we will continue with the autopilot descent, the VNAV. Until usually around 10,000 feet, I'll turn that off, and then I'll start directing the plane myself. But definitely when we make that turn to where we're going to be parallel with the airport, definitely after that turn, which makes us parallel, definitely by then I'm going to be flying, with VNAV off and with LNAV off, and activating the Localizer and then capturing the Glidescope. But yeah, let's check out. I mean, some of the scenery in this game is absolutely gorgeous. Some is absolute shit, and I don't understand it. Like, if you're flying over Ireland or Iceland, well, Iceland's okay, but if you fly over like certain parts of the east, or if you fly over the Miami area or certain parts of Ireland, it's fuzzy. It's it sucks. But some areas in this game are really, really pretty. Especially if you watch the A380 video that I did, that descent over the mountains into Italy, it's just gorgeous. The detail that goes in there. So, anyways, I'm gonna shut up again. I do find myself rambling at times, which I guess it is what it is. But yeah, please like, please subscribe, please leave a comment, and let's continue our descent. Let's make sure the passengers are safe. we're safe because we can't let anybody in. And that's about it. See y'all in a little bit. Descending in these Boeing planes is much easier than the Airbus. Boeing plane will do everything automatically for you. Just make sure you have VNAV pressed and set the correct altitude that you want to descend to. I usually do 500 feet below the capture point for the ILS, but you can certainly do what you want. Yeah, you don't have to do anything really. You just sit back and it starts doing it automatically. With the Airbus, you got to push or I forget if you push or pull, but either way, you gotta interact with the altitude knob for it to begin its descent, which is fine. I love the Airbus as well, but the Boeing plane, it's fairly foolproof for much of the flight. Until this flight, I never knew this existed. I think that's really cool how they have like notes and shit scribbled on here. Jumbo jet. And what does that other thing say? Cool new switches and knobs. And then the 747, pretty sure it says the Queen, but that N on the R looks like an R. So at first I thought it said something else, which I don't know if I can say on YouTube, which sucks. But I thought it said 747 the Queer. I'm just going to say it. I don't give a shit. I thought that's what it said, but obviously that's not what it said. It said the Queen, which it is. If the A380 is the king, like I said on my previous video, then this one has to be the Queen. It's awesome. All right, now that we're crossing over 10,000 feet, I'm going to turn off LNAV, push the little button in for heading select, and I'm going to go ahead and control the direction myself, arm the localizer, even though we're a little early for that. But well, you know what? Let me just push the approach button. That way everything's set. It's a little early since we're going the opposite direction to where we need to go, but I'd rather have it armed. That way when it's ready to capture, it will. Most of the time, most airplanes, doesn't matter the style of airplane, but usually an airplane will capture the localizer if you are less than 45 degrees to the localizer. So we'll see if that happens in this case as well. It generally happens. We'll see if it happens as well. But for now, we're just going to continue in heading mode, make sure we are going to be at the right speed, control our flaps, and make sure everything is set properly. So when the localizer and the Glidescope captures, we are at the right speed, and we can just kind of fly on in and get that touchdown. If you've watched my videos and see my landings, I'm all about the touchdown zone. So I wanna put the queen down where she needs to be today, right in the middle of that damn touchdown zone. So I think we're gonna make it happen. But the king gave me some trouble yesterday. The king, you know, my belly wasn't working properly yesterday, I guess. But it did at the end. If you didn't see yesterday's video, that A380, the second landing I did, was buttery smooth, super soft. So anyways, I'm gonna sign off here until the localizer captures, and then you know, we'll put this bird on the ground. Here's the chart, Jepson chart, for the runway we are landing on today. You can see on the very bottom, CHA, that's where we made that left-hand turn a moment ago. And now we are getting ready to make our final turn to the runway, intercept course 247, and hopefully capture the Glidescope as well, and land this bird where it needs to go. Alright, let's make our final turn to the left, try to intercept the localizer and see if we can get that to capture. Like I said, usually when you're about 45 degrees or less, it will capture automatically. And there we go. The localizer and the Glidescope, I repeat, the localizer and the Glidescope, both captured at the same time. We just had what's called a 2-for-1. A 2-for-1. A 2-for-1 special. I love when that happens. It makes it so much easier. Now you don't have to really do anything. Just control your speed and the flaps. And this particular plane will do a Category 3 landing. So I'm going to adjust my decision height as we get closer. A Category 3 landing at this particular airport with this particular runway is 50 feet, not the 460 that's in there now, but I will adjust that as we get closer. Right now, I'm going to just continue to make sure this lines up properly and we're at the right speed. And then when we're about 1,000 feet above ground, I'll deactivate the autopilot and fly this baby home myself. Alright, let's put the iPad on my belly and recalibrate it. Alright, let's turn off the autopilot. Let's click the little button on the stick there and fly this sucker home ourselves. So all we gotta do is keep those pink triangles centered up and we should be good to go. Right now this iPad is resting on my belly If you've seen my other videos, you know that my belly helps me land these planes. It keeps it very stable. So, but if you don't have a belly, you know, just do your best to keep it stable with the green and yellow sticking together like glue. I did turn off the auto throttle as well because I like to be able to control, you know, myself, especially when it gets time to land. And so far we're doing pretty good. We're a little bit below where we should be, but that's easy to fix. And we're going to see if we're going to get this touchdown. Let's see here. Touchdown. A couple 100 feet.
Approaching decision height.
Let's see here. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Glide slope. Decision height.
Oh, yeah. Let's see here. We doing good? We got 2 red, 2 white. That's good. 4 red, you're dead. 4 white. It's not all right. Let's see here. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Yes, touchdown. Right in the touchdown zone. Yeah, boy. That's what I'm talking about. Anyways, if you haven't already, please like, please subscribe, please leave a comment, please share my video. Appreciate y'all stopping by today. Hope you enjoyed the flight, and I'll catch you at the next airport. Thanks for tuning in to the Airplane Show. Talk to y'all later.